Alright, guys, we are back on YouTube. I do apologize for that. The entire building, hotel, and casino lost power, so we had to completely reboot the network. We are back, though. The players are on a quick player break. You see Chezka in her seat. Margaret Fefilova Steyer is walking back into the arena now. It will be Margaret's turn to break. The last time she did break, it was dry. Let's see if she makes a minor adjustment to correct that.
Oh, okay.
Well, that was fun,
It's
wasn't
a
it?
wild experience to lose power in an entire hotel and casino.
Yeah, I feel bad for all the floor attendants on the casino floor right
Oh,
now.
the panic, right? And then, of course, shout out to the production guys here with X-Pool for moving quickly, trying to get us back in action. The score is currently 4-1 in favor of Chezka Centeno. At the time of the power outing, I believe it was 1-1.
It was.
And Chezka was at the table, though, and she did successfully run out that rack. So I think Margaret had a dry break after that. And here we are.
All right, Chezka looking to make quick work of this one.
Should be fine. Should be able to queue easily behind the 8.
All right, Chezka with this 8-ball to take a 5-1 lead.
Good work. Good work on that rack. So I was just informed that she cleared that rack in 1 minute and 36 seconds. They get 40 seconds a shot, typically, and 60 seconds after the break. And she managed to clear that rack in less time than they typically get for one shot in first shot after the break.
Yeah,
Pretty crazy.
she definitely floats around the table quickly. That is for sure.
Well, I mean, I do have to say that I like the fact that she makes decisions quickly. I mean, as a spectator, it's nice to watch someone who makes decisions quickly, but as someone who, as a competitor, I think her pace would be a little intimidating, maybe a little disturbing.
I'd agree with you on that.
Right, so she's taking more time looking around this rack than I've seen her throughout most of the set at this point. Wow, well played. And as long as she is not frozen to the underside of that 3 ball, she should be just fine. She asked about moving the rack, and he's like, nah.
Not quite yet.
We're not going to do that.
Now he will.
So these guys, these referees, it's pretty cool. They have these neat little tools that they put up to the side of the ball so that they can remove the ball. But what they do is they usually put the ball on the other side of that tool if there's multiple balls to move.
Yep.
So that they know which ball goes where. It's really a cool tool. I was watching them all week.
All right, no real issues here for Chezka. She just needs to make sure she holds a little bit of angle on this 12 ball after the 9. She wanted to get a little bit more out of that. She is going to have a lot of work to do here to get all the way down for this 8. I do not believe it goes in the bottom left-hand corner.
She may have to just accept a little bit longer shot. I don't know if she's going to. Ooh, that was dangerous.
Flirting with the 4 ball there.
Yeah. She's mindful. She needs to make sure that if she clips the 5, that it's going to stop the cue from going into the corner pocket. Especially if she pockets the 8 and scratches, that is a loss.
She has called her extension for this rack.
Oh.
That's
exactly what she was concerned about.
Highly unfortunate. She did introduce a little bit of bottom. I thought if she just played it with top
and bumped into one of those 2 balls, like she was sitting a little better.
Yeah, I thought she might.
No, it's a loss.
Yeah.
I think she thought that Margaret would have to get ball in hand, like the 8 would spot, and she'd have to run out, but that is a loss of game.
But I think if she would have put a little bit of top on that, she could have gone into the 5 pretty full, and it would have stopped her cue ball. But obviously, we're up here. We don't see the angles exactly the same way they do.
Right, so this might be something that Margarita needed to kind of get back in this, get something started for her, you know?
Absolutely.
She was playing so well yesterday, and she played well at the beginning of this match also. So, unfortunately, I think the power outage in the building kind of freaked Margaret out a little. Maybe we can see her get resettled.
Yeah, she just really needs to lay down a good break. She had, honestly, I don't think she shot a ball besides her 2 dry breaks since the power outage.
No.
I think it's been all Chezka looking for. All right, she is going to make a little bit of an adjustment here. I like it. Looking for the 15 to go in the right side pocket.
It's tracking.
There it goes.
Well done.
Crowd
Yeah,
acknowledging it.
this is a great break for Margaret, too.
Yeah, there's no real trouble.
Just the placement for the 8 ball. That's the only thing. If the 8 doesn't go past the 5, but I think it does.
Referee having to work real hard to get this rack
Well,
off.
the racks are very thin, so I can imagine that they're difficult to pick up with gloves on.
Yeah. All right, so she's got options. She's got 2 really good opening shots. Looks like she's going to elect to take the 13 over the 2. I don't blame her. The stripes do look like they lay out really well. And just in case the 8 ball doesn't go, which I'm almost positive it will after these 2 stripes are moved, she does have the 9 there to bump it.
Yeah, if you look at the shadows, it looks like there's light between those balls, so I think she's going to be fine.
I think she just plays her cue ball to the middle of the table for the 10 next.
Should be okay here. So Margaret is a Viking 6060 sponsored player. She's part of the crew with Fedor Gorse and Angela Janik. She's also, all her apparel is made by Game On Gear. I like her rash guard. Sorry, I'm doing the girl thing, but I like her rash guard. Her rash guard is the long sleeved shirt underneath her jersey, and it says "Get your game on." They also make ones for WPBA as well.
Beautiful shot there.
And the cue ball stopped just in time where she doesn't have to cue weirdly over the 3. Try to hold this 12 ball, the cue after the 12. Yeah, I think that power outage has me all discombobulated as well.
I think it got a little bit of everybody in the arena.
Very strange. Right. Nice run by Margaret here. See her knock this 8 down with some confidence and get back into this match. Well done. Well done. The crowd really likes that.
And that's got to be a huge momentum boost for Margaret. Instead of being 6-1 down and breaking, she was only down 5-2, and she's made it 5-3 now. It's a big momentum shift. She's asked the referee to brush the table off a little bit. Yeah, that definitely wasn't on my bingo card today. Seeing an entire hotel and casino lose power, that's a first for me.
It was wild. Like the whole room went black. I've never seen so many people. The whole room just went,
Yeah.
and that was it. There was no like, it just went silent.
I mean, I think it's raining a little bit, but I didn't think it was quite that severe. I don't know. I haven't seen the light of day in a couple days. Been cooped up in here, but nothing I'd rather be doing than sitting in the booth with the voice of the WPBA calling a World Championship semifinal right now.
That's definitely a great place to be.
I'd say so.
All right, Chezka Centeno to break. The score is 5-3 in her favor.
Alright, no real issues this rack. The only problem ball, if she elects to take stripes, would be the 3 and 11, but the 14 is right there to break it out. I think the cue ball stopped just in the nick of time.
All right, so I think she's landed really well, and the 11 probably goes past the red 3. She's going to draw it back. Shoot the pink 12 next. She's going to have to move that cue ball a bit to get around, though. I don't know, can she hold it with a little draw? She can. Well done. All right, cut this 8 in the right-hand side pocket. All right, and the most Margarita can do from here is just hold serve.
Yeah.
Hold her serve and do the best she can, and it'll be what it's meant to be.
Yeah, she really hasn't made any mistakes
No.
this match. It's just been...
She, in the second rack, she missed the bank on that 3.
Yeah.
A little bit of positional errors there at the end of the rack, but that's the only rack, really, other than breaking dry, that Margaret's had any problems. Right, she gets the ball in the side pocket. She also gets the ball in the top left corner. Everything's sitting pretty well here. And if the pink 4 went past the 14, I'd almost prefer solids. But two rails out of this corner, she's got a track in between the 6-2. Should be okay.
I will say that if the I don't think the pink passes the 14, but it definitely plays off of the back side of it. The 14 does make that pocket bigger if you elect to play it that way.
So yeah, I think she liked the solids also.
She can actually get a really good angle on it right here. She can either hold her cue ball for the center of the table, or I think she has the angle to come back on the back side of the 4 and play short side shape for it in the top left corner. She's overrun it a little bit, but she should be fine.
She also has the option to pay the pink in the left side pocket.
Very well
Well,
done.
yeah, she hit that ball really well.
If I'm not mistaken, I think she'll play the 1 ball down here in the bottom right-hand corner after she moves the 3 if it goes past the 15. If not, I think the window between the 8 and the 10 for the side pocket is there. Pure focus and determination on that face. She's landed really well on this. I think she can just go forward to give herself a little bit of angle from the top side of the 6 to play the 8 in the same pocket as the 1. Nicely done. One positional shot away from making it 6-4.
Okay, so she lands nicely on this 8. Takes care to not overhit the cue ball, leaving herself in the good side of the window. Hey, well done. Margarita Fefilova Steyer, 6-4. Centeno in the lead.
All right, Margaret controlling the things that she can control, taking advantage on her breaks.
So, the crowd is definitely in Margaret's favor at this place. But you
Absolutely.
gotta remember too, we are in the home state of her and Tyler. They live here in Wisconsin, so heavily favored. I would say that although Margarita obviously she plays under a neutral flag at the moment, born and raised in Belarus. I would think that she's revered in the U.S. as an American girl.
Pretty
Like
much.
we all love her. So
All right, Chezka, a little fortunate there. It looked like the cue ball was tracking a little bit towards the side pocket, but she did get a very nice kick or carom. The stripes do look to be the best. She does agree. The 14 leads to the 15 in the bottom left-hand corner. We're going to see her take care of all the balls down here first and then move her way up table. The flash making quick work. All right. Playing this 11 all the way up in the corner. Very nicely done. Now just a simple one rail out to the back to the middle of the table for the 12 in the top right. Needs it to go a little bit. She has got there. Looking to see if the 8 ball goes by the 1. I do believe it does. Really punched that ball through, and just like that, Chezka makes it onto the hill first by a score of 7-4.
the lack of stroking.
Yeah. She just gets down and really fires at everything.
Yeah, just completely fires the ball in. I mean, it's impressive to see. I've obviously seen Chezka play many times, but never seen her play in person.
Yeah.
Always been somewhere when I was where she was. I wasn't around when it got towards the end of the events. So it's interesting watching. And this is actually my first time with doing the commentary for Chezka this week.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I've always been in the other booth.
Trying to remember. I think I did one of her matches. I don't remember which table it was on. I think it might have been on this one, but I'm not sure. And it was the one time I got a little fortunate and got a really short match.
All right, here we go. Margarita to break.
12 balls tracking a little long that time. Looked like she kind of moved the cue ball back a little bit more towards the middle as opposed to the adjustment that she made the 2 previous breaks. All right, the best opening shot is on the 11. The 2 ball is a little bit longer, but it is doable. She does have the full cue ball to cue over. I do think solids lay out a little bit better, and she is going to agree. Just taking on a little bit more of a tester here for the opener, and that is the problem.
And that happened to her in the very first rack as well.
In the exact same pocket.
A lot of body movement there for Chezka, and I know that she does that naturally anyway. She is not your typical, what I would say, European-styled player. She's definitely got the big stroke and lots of body movement around the table, but you typically don't see her make errors on straight-in balls. All right, so Margaret's going to take full advantage of this, as she should. Chezka had a chance to close out the match with that. Now Margaret has a chance to stay in it right here.
I do favor her to run this rack out. There's a little bit of traffic to navigate, but I think she'll be just fine. Margaret is really good about leaving herself with multiple options after each shot.
I like this. She went and decided that she needed to roll this forward a little bit and leave the 7. She doesn't need to play any type of combination. Probably looking to find the gap between the 1 and the 10. That's perfectly fine right there. I actually don't mind that.
I am curious to see when she does go over to take the 4.
She may have to just go ahead and stop shot the 6 and then cut the 4 in, getting back across, shooting the 7 and the 1 both in the lower right. She may not have an option, unless that 7, I don't know if it's, I don't think it tracks past the 11 up table, so she's definitely got to shoot the 6. This is where my brain would get crazy. Because here, what if you play it with some follow and get on the other side of the pink 4, shoot the 4 up table, then play the 1 next? You know what I mean? There's just so many things that could happen.
Yeah.
Especially in these big moments. So, like that, she's left herself some angle.
And if she ended up not liking it, she could have shot the 1 here, but she does like where she's landed. I do like this pattern. 6 to the 4, 4 to the 1. The 1 does lead to the 7, and the 8 does pass the 14 in this left side pocket. This is really the key shot here. She's done very well.
Alright, so Fefilova's getting her extension out. She's gonna have to stretch a bit.
Depending on how straight in she ended up, she might have to cheat this pocket a little bit.
Yeah.
She was just fine.
Struck the ball beautifully there. 2 rails out of the pocket. Well done.
Alright, this 8 ball to bring it back within 2. She does have to win every rack from here on out.
She does have to fade a couple of Chezka's breaks along the way. Crowd definitely enjoyed that. Chezka Centeno will be breaking next. Say a special thank you to Olhausen, of course, says for these beautiful Tournament Pro Series tables. If you guys haven't been watching, there's some really great additions to this table. They've got the flush pockets, so it's so nice to cue comfortably and smoothly out of a pocket. They have the AccuFast rails. They are covered in Simonis cloth, of course, and we're using the Aramith Pro Cup balls. This table is slightly resembled or built similar to the old, oh, what was it? It was the, hold on, I know the answer to this. Oh, it was a Sheridan 3.
Okay. All right, Chezka to break here. Looking for the 12 ball in the side pocket. It's gone a little long, but the 13 is going to save the day. It is kind of funny that every single time she has broke, there have been a couple balls kind of tied up down here. The 11 does track in the bottom right-hand corner, which will then free up the 9. She's elected to go ahead and take care of that problem now. She had a really good position to do so. I think she's come up a little shorter than she wanted to, but she should be fine here. Just going to kind of draw off of this 11 touching the 9. The only thing you have to be worried about is getting a thick hit on the 5 as well. She was able to play it forward. Alright, no real issues here for the rest of this rack.
Very quick work for Chezka.
Oh no.
Okay.
That was the problem. She did land on the wrong side of the 14 and had to try and spin the cue ball out 2 rails.
Yeah, it was an unnecessary positional shot, but necessary to get back around for the 10. She just didn't take very much time at all on it.
We're going to see her go to the short stick, I do believe. She doesn't even have it put together yet. This is always a little bit tough, jumping out of the jaws of a pocket.
Yeah, not on this table with the flush pockets.
Oh, that's true. I didn't even
Yeah.
think about that.
I just talked about it too. It's amazing the difference that it makes. Wow. Not a lot of effort in that jump there. I feel as though she just kind of whiffed at it. Margarita coming to the table, she's ball in hand. A little bit of work here, but this gets her 1 rack closer. And her break next, if I'm correct.
Yes, it will be. You see her taking her time, trying to dissect the pattern.
What I like too about what Margaret's doing in this match is no matter, Chezka can be very unsettling as an opponent,
Yeah.
right? And I love that Margaret is just taking her time, staying at her own natural pace, the way that she chooses to play pool. Because sometimes when you play a fast opponent, you'll also start moving around the table quickly.
Absolutely. She's not letting Chezka's rhythm affect hers
Not at all.
whatsoever.
No, Margaret's really holding her own here and just, doing her best to be in the match, take advantage of every opportunity that she's given. Kudos to her. She's working really hard here. I think that power outage set her off tilt for just a few minutes, but it looks like she's back invested and ready to go. I like this. Just looking at the pink 4 next.
I think the way that she's played this rack has been excellent so far. The 4 leads to the 5, the 5 leads to the 3, and the 3 does lead to the 8. Very straightforward tic-tac-toe from here. Just has to make sure she gives each ball its attention. Playing the 3 in the top left corner. Might roll a few rotations up to give herself a better angle on the 8. Regardless, I do believe she will be fine. Absolutely beautiful stroke through that 3 ball. This to pull back within 1 and be breaking. And the crowd goes wild.
You knew they were going to enjoy that right there. So currently at the moment, 1 rack.
Chezka,
1 rack difference.
Chezka is going to take her player break. Each player is allotted 1 break per match.
All right, while players on break, I just wanted to give a little shout out to our amazing sponsors. Once again, we have Tom.
I think we are going to do the same. We will be right back. Everybody stay tuned.
With this awesome Olhausen table. If you haven't seen it in person, I know there are some that we kind of pulled off at the back. You might be able to take a peek at them if you haven't seen the 7-footer. It's also in the hallway. After semifinal number 2, we will be giving away that 7-footer up there. So I'm not sure if there are any tickets left. No tickets left. All right, so now you can just pray. I think that's really what it comes down to. We'll get that out after the second one. However, this exciting finish ends at 2 o'clock will be the next semifinal match. It will feature Chiahua Chen, or we call her Amber Chen, and from Taipei, and Jasmine Ocean from Austria. For those that are interested in fun facts, Chezka is the 2023 World 10-ball champion. Jasmine Ocean won the 10-ball World Championship back in 2010.
All right, hey guys, what's happening? This is Lonnie Fox Raymond here. I'm just going to do a little chatting about some of the sponsors that have brought us this World Championship. Of course, Taum, Mika Immonen is here representing Taum for this World Championship, as well as J. Peachar being the presenting sponsor. They're a family-owned cue manufacturer based right here in Green Bay, Wisconsin, founded by Jerry Peachauer in 1963. Jerry's son Joe built on that legacy, assembling his first cue at 14 years old and officially assuming the role of president of Peachauer Cues in 2007. These guys also sponsor some of the biggest players in the game, as April Larson, the Grinder, Janet Atwell, Rachel Lang, the Rhinestone, Jordan Helfrey, the Young Phenom, Ashley Benoit, we call her Slash, Kennedy Myman, and of course the Pink Dagger herself, Sophia Mast. So JP Chower is making a push in women's billiards, and it was a no-brainer having it here in Green Bay, Wisconsin, that they are a feature presenting sponsor.
Absolutely. Can't say enough good things about the Peachauer family. They've put in so much time, effort, and resources into this event to make it go off without a hitch.
Yeah, we've been pretty blessed. I mean, they did a beautiful players' room for us,
Yeah.
with all the trimmings and couches and super comfy chairs, and we were pretty blessed to have Peachauer take on this World Championship, partnering with Olhausen, of course, and the WPBA. None other than X-Pool, one of the greatest production crews on the planet, for producing this event and giving you guys 4 tables to watch at home on the WPBA Billiards YouTube channel. So big shout out to all of those guys that are involved. Of course, you can see as well Aramith Simonis, and the hostess with the mostest, ONEIDA Casino and Hotel.
Absolutely. Margaret approaching the table, breaking trailing 7-6. All right, we are looking for the 15 ball to go in that right side pocket. Is tracking a little bit long, but it looks like the 10 will save the day.
Oh boy.
Not really going to have the best opener.
Yeah, her opening shot is going to be a tester. So she's going to step away to get a look at the table while the referee's taking the Max Rack, Taum Max Rack off the table, the official rack sponsor here of the World Championships.
Tell you one thing, I do not envy his job. It is very touchy. Big shout out to all of the referees at this event.
I mean, what are her options? Can she see the 15, or does she have to cut the 14?
I think she has to cut the 14.
She did come over to the left long rail, see where the cue ball was going to track.
I think she's overdone it just a hair.
Centeno comes to the table with an open rack.
Yeah, and the stripes do look very good.
I think the 11 probably goes in the side pocket as well, so I don't think the 13's in the way. So if she takes, I wouldn't be surprised if she shoots the 14, gets to the 11, and just kind of goes from there. Oh, she's leaving it. Maybe she's going to try to leave it for last.
I am curious about where the 8 ball goes. It does not go in either corner. I do not believe. It might be able to squeak into the bottom right, but I think it is too close to the 1. we're going to see her play the 12 and get a little bump on the 8 to knock it loose.
If it falls in the window, that may be all she wrote. She fell perfectly on the 15.
Do not see any issues for her here.
Probably gonna have to play this with a little draw, try to get around the 3, shooting the 8, probably in the same pocket. Wow.
That was going to be it.
The flash taken down. Margarita Fefilova Steyer. 8-6. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So it looks like this is semifinal number 1. We've got Chezka Centeno going to be sitting in the finals waiting for her opponent. Our next match is going to be Amber Chen versus Jasmine Ocean. We're going to probably, are we rebooting the stream? I'm going to be rebooting after this match and resetting our, we've lost some cameras in the blackout. So we're gonna get all that stuff set back up, folks. My name is Lonnie Fox Raymond, and we had Sean Denny, the Ginger Wizard, in the booth with me. And we'll be back in action shortly with Jasmine Ocean and Amber Chen.